Hello, my fellow nomads. I am the VR Nomad, and welcome to Blueprints. Now, you may remember that I had an original video just for day one that was a little too long, and it got me thinking, maybe I should just restart the game and try to go faster this time. See how many days I can get through in one recording. But then again, that also sounded too long. So, since I've already beaten the game, I thought, why not go back and try to beat it again, with different choices this time? See if I could get the same result. And maybe, just maybe, not mess up, like the last time I did this because I accidentally got cursed. But I digress. In this new version of the game, I will be going through the main story as usual, but I will be trying my best to stay engaged with you guys. So I'm going to be talking through most of my points with the logic that I'm taking, and some of the puzzles that I'm going to be going through as well, to the best of my ability anyway. So, enough blabbing from me. Without further ado, let us begin, again, Blueprints, from day one. Let's go.
Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in, and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
Blueprints. Alright, so that's the ultimatum that we were given. Find the 46th room, again, within a timely manner, or forfeit the house. Let us begin on day one. A very humble home. Now, to start with, we start out in the main lobby. But as we also know, there's also the point outside that also acts like rooms in this manner. Let us begin with the message, only open in the event of my death. Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did in those lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume that you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of the bequest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission, covered in the fine print of my will that I feel I should bring to your attention. Rule 1. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. Rule 2. Tools and items found on the estate may not be taken off the estate. And Rule 3. You may not stay in the manor overnight. I don't suspect that any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself, but it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of the previous day. One final word of advice. Do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half-century, and even I am uncertain of which room lies behind any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, "Don't go where the path leads, abandon the path, and go where you want it to lead. With all my love and wishes, best of luck, Herbert S. Sinclair." Alright, so he's thrown down the gauntlet. I find the room, I get the house and the land. If I don't, I forfeit it. The Mount Holly Blueprint. This will serve as a useful map and inventory log during your adventure. You may access the blueprint menu by pressing the tab key. Alright, so every single day we will start out in the entrance hall. Past the steps and beyond the grand doors, admission to Mount Holly is granted by the way of a dark and garish lobby, suitably called the entrance hall. From here, each guest's adventure begins. However, the 3 doors that proceed onward do not always lead to the same adjoining rooms. And this is my goal. The antechamber. From its root meaning the room before, all signs and paths point toward the antechamber. This mysterious sealed room, resting on the 9th rank of the building, may prove, however, quite an initial challenge to even reach, let alone enter. Still, you can't help but draw a connection between this chamber and room 46. So, to recap, I start here. I have to make my way through the entire house, all the way up to rank 9, and somehow get into one of these areas in the antechamber to get inside the antechamber to find room 46 at the top. Oh, and just before I forget, there's also a step counter in the top left of the screen. Every time you enter a room, regardless of whether you placed it or not, that counter will go down by 1. Or maybe more depending on if there are special conditions. If I run out of steps, basically how many times I can move between rooms, I will automatically forfeit and have to call it a day. There are ways to increase the number of steps that I have, but we'll get to that later. For right now, searching the estate can be exhausting. This explains exactly what I just said. Each time you enter a room, you will lose 1 step. When you no longer have any steps left, you will be too tired to continue and searching the manor and must call it a day, essentially resetting your progress. Here comes the crucial part. We need to figure out which way we want to go. So we need either go west, east, or north. I'm going to choose to go west. Now, in this game, you essentially choose rooms based on a system like an RPG or a card-based RPG, like a tabletop. 3 random cards are shuffled together and you choose 3. In this case, I have the bedroom, which has a special condition. Whenever you enter this room, you gain 2 steps to your counter, a closet, which gives you 2 special items to use later, or a hallway that does nothing. I would recommend trying to get as many steps as possible so that you can get through the house faster. So let's put a bedroom. In addition, you may also notice that there are strange paintings on the walls. That will come later. Now there's a trunk here, but I can't open it because I don't have any keys or a way to open them normally. Every room has a puzzle. For example, I never figured out what this is. What am I supposed to do with this? I don't know. We'll find that out later. Sorry guys, let me just move some things around. Okay. Now I should be able to get to my microphone a lot easier and my keyboard, which I'm definitely going to need to use. Alright, where are we in the house? Now the only place that I can go to is north, so let's do that. Also, there are certain rooms that actually cost something at a certain level to put down, which are either keys, coins, or gems. Gems are often used to put down green rooms. Now, my choices are the parlor, which will make a right-hand turn, the den, which splits off into two different directions, but also gives me a gem, or a nook that turns left, but also gives me a key, which I can use later. For now, let's try using the den. Let's increase my speed a bit. Grab the gem. I don't know if there's anything significant about the swans, but also there's definitely a puzzle that has to do with these frames. Now, which way do I go? Let's try going to the left. Let's try to fill out the rooms. Oh, these ones suck. Red rooms are essentially rooms that are meant to impede you. Either they're useless or they have a very bad detrimental effect. Oh, sorry. The lavatory is basically just a dead end. The guest bedroom, if you only enter it once, gives you plus 10 steps. So it's only useful for that. But it also creates a dead end. So I can't use the corner here. So it might be best if I use the parlor. This will be a puzzle room. Also need to keep an eye out for any sort of items that might be around. Like this one. A key. A turn key. A rather curious wind-up key. It's a component for the parlor game. What's the parlor game? May the 2nd.
Dear Herbert, it was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate with the Oldhams this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since we had been seen in decent society, and we were beginning to worry that my wife's wit had lost its charm. I have no delusions that my company is rival to hers. If I can refresh your memory, we both spent much of that evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I had mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back, involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write with the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I have included with this letter all the details you will need to share with guests should you be inclined to play this confounding game. Always your friend, M. Lowry. Rule 1. There will always be at least one box which displays only true statements. Rule 2. There will always be at least one box which displays only false statements. And Rule 3. Only one box has a prize within. The other 2 are always empty. So, yeah, in this puzzle, we need to figure out which one is the lie and which one is truth. But take heed. Sometimes there are 2 false ones and 1 true one, or sometimes two true one. I can't talk today. 2 true ones and 1 false one. If there's a false one and there's 2 true ones, then the false one may be correct. But if there's 2 false ones and 1 true, then the true one is correct. All right, let's see what we got here. This statement appears on another box. This statement appears on another box. The blue box is empty. So if we take this one as being true, the statement appears on another box. And this one also appears on another box. So the blue and black boxes are both true, which means that the white box is false, which means the blue box is empty is wrong. It's actually the blue box is the one that contains the gems. So the answer is the blue box. Bing, bang, boom. 2 gems. Now, let's fill out this dead end with what do we got? We have a nook, the closet, and the guest bedroom. There's also a possibility that sometimes there might be useful items inside of bedrooms or other rooms too, depending on if you also have different modifiers and things. In this case, it might be beneficial to use more steps. So let's give a guest bedroom here. Yep, what did I tell you right here? It's a key card. An electronic key card. Opens electronically powered security doors. We'll probably see those later in later levels, maybe on rank 4 or 5. Oh, this will come in handy. Sinclair. Just wanted to write you a quick note thanking you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt with Lord Evanson, whose peculiar personality somewhat made up for your own absence. I also got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages since I have seen the billiard room in the house. I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. It was well worth the wait, though, as I always enjoyed your mathematical puzzles and appreciated that I didn't need to know the rules of darts to play your variation. Hope your health improves shortly. KL. Alright, that will become important later on. And there are even more paintings to find. There are always exactly 2 paintings in every room. Let's see. Let's go across here. Maybe we can find a room that connects back to the entrance hall. It's the pantry that goes north, a corridor that just goes across to the east, or a hallway that connects the things and then goes north. Let's see. How about the pantry?
We'll save the hallways for later. Also, eating apples and fruits increases your steps by a small margin. These will come in handy too. Coins are used to purchase items in the, I think it's called the commissary. It's basically an in-house shop. Kind of like your corner store sort of thing. Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread will be ideal. 5 apples, 5 oranges, 5 bananas. Well, now 4 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. The enclosed amount should cover expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. Okay? So those 4 coins must have been the change. Let's see what we got. The chapel, which is a red room. Whenever you enter the chapel, you lose 1 coin. The nook's showing up a lot today. And the closet. As contradictory as this sounds, some of these red rooms are actually useful. Let's try the chapel, actually. I know, I said red rooms are bad, but sometimes that bad is actually good. I can risk losing 1 coin. Sometimes there are also items around in here too. There's a bishop, that might come in handy later. What I'm definitely noticing in this room are the murals on the stained glass. They're depictions of different saints with different tools and implements with numbers below them. Why is this important? That may come up way later. But for now, maybe we should memorize this. So 1 is a garden hoe. 2 is a paddle. 3 is a pitchfork. 4 is a sweep for a chimney sweep. 5 is a broom. 6 is a whip. And 7 is a scepter. Definitely have to write that down, which I already have. Now, which way do I go? Left or right? Let's go right. Alright. Let's see. 2 useless things. The lavatory would definitely be useless. Let's use the hallway? The hallway. It's a free room, basically. What do we got here? Doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked. Let's keep going east. Aha, here we go. All right. This is what I was talking about earlier. There's a gem requirement for later rooms that are more advanced. For example, the nursery, whenever you draft another bedroom, you gain 5 steps when you do so. The kitchen, food for sale. This is basically the same as like the commissary, except it gives you steps every time you buy something. Or a closet, which is a dead end. In this case, I might want to save my gems and use a closet. Alright, let's see what we got. A lucky rabbit's foot. A greater chance of finding items in rooms. Or anywhere, actually. And an ivory die. While drafting, you can use an ivory die once to roll for new floor plans. So in case you don't like the ones that you rolled for, you can change them. Alright, let's go down. I'm trying to fill this place out a bit. Let's redraw. Alright. The spare room is basically just a blank room, so you can use it for anything. I'm trying to make sure that I can fill out the entire house as much as I can. So let's use a spare room. As expected, there's absolutely nothing in here. I don't know why this room is in here. Maybe it's just a free option for nothing. Okay. Ooh. Okay. As bad as this sounds, it also is the only one with a side entrance. So let's use the gymnasium. So every time you enter this room, you lose 2 steps to your counter. That's the bad part. But there is a way to get around this. I just have to find that room. That particular room that allows me to turn that off. Now the only one that actually spins around is the observatory. This will become very useful later on. So let's spend a gem, use the observatory. Looking around for items. There's also a knight. And something looks a little weird here. Shouldn't that telescope be pointed that way? So let's see if we can do that. First, I think it's a little too low. So let's get it over here. Alright, let's raise it up a bit. Can't go any further. Okay. So now that's raised up. If I had tried to move that while it was still lowered, it would have hit the ramp over there. It would have hit the platform. So, like an actual telescope, we need to point it toward the sky. And once more. There we go. Now, why is this important? Well, the skill is that every time you draft an observatory, you gain 1 star. And the stars are important because they do different attributes depending on how many that there are. For example, 1 star gives you, I think, 1 coin? Let's see. 1 coin. Back to your total. Now, once this is done, this is basically useless for the rest of the day. If I gain more stars, I can get better bonuses. Now let's fill out this area with 1 last room. 1 room that makes sense. No, I'll save that one for later because that's kind of redundant. The dining room. So how's this one special? Each day, a meal is served in the dining room after rank 8 has been reached. So this effect will only come into effect once I reach this row on the blueprint, which will take a while. And I'll definitely know that I've hit it because there will be a dinner bell that goes off. Now, in order to get past this potential part, there are a lot of things you need to take into consideration. For example, how many keys, how many doors can you get past, and how fast can you get there? So sometimes it's a good idea to conserve your steps and your items, regardless of how, advantageous it would be. For example, instead of going through all that and going through the chapel again, I could go through here. Perhaps I should check what's outside, actually. And yes, leaving the manor also counts as going into a different room. Now, this will be very important later on. This gate allows you to access the western side of the building. But the only way to get there is by having the garage to open it, get out of the garage, come out here, go down this path, and unlock it from the other side. Which would be easy to do once I'm able to get over here to about the 3rd to 5th rank, I think. I'm not really sure when you get the garage, but that will become very useful later on. Did I also forget to mention that there might be something secretive below us? Particularly when using these. Those are gas pipes. And what are they feeding? These 4 sconces. How do we light them? That's for what we get into later. For now, let's keep exploring around and see what we find. Oh yes, there is a way to actually light this tunnel, but it's very complicated and a little tricky. It really depends on your luck, and also the RNG. But for now, let's head back to the house. Oh, that's why it's called Holly Peak. Mount Holly, because it looks like a holly leaf. That looks important, but we can't get through it yet. Let's head back up these stairs. Luckily, going up and down the stairs doesn't count as a step, so that's a good thing. But going through these gates does. I've also wondered, how the heck am I going to get in there? That looks like a door that leads to something. That's the eastern gate. That appears to be a mine, but the only way to open that is by using a special room. My campsite, which is pretty modest for what it is. This will become very useful later on. But in order to access the orchard, we need to figure out what this code is. A 4-digit code written here. I don't know what it is yet because I don't want to spoil anything, but we will get to it once we find it. Like I said, a lot of stuff in this game requires on good RNG and a lot of luck. For now, let's head back to the house and stop wasting time out here. I also realized that I've already used a couple more steps because moving between locations also counts as steps. I know I wasted a lot of steps, but bear with me. It will get better. Now, the cool part about this, I can move into this room and it automatically gives me 2 more steps. Come back into this room. Now, we need to go right, north. Sure, we lose a coin, but that's okay. Now we move to this door that goes west. Now, this would probably be a good time to use the corridor because it's free and it's already unlocked. Don't need to use anything. The West Wing Hall, the storeroom, and the nursery. These two are both dead-end rooms, which would make all this useless. So let's use the West Wing Hall to give us access to the 4th rank. Also, I should note, every time that you build a wall here, it will just block it off with wood, because that's how it was built. And also that just means that all the rooms are randomized. So we can't go this way even if we tried. Staff notice, June 15th, 1983. Out of respect for the late Lady Clara Epson, the West Wing will be closed until further notice. While the floor plans associated with this wing have not been removed from the pool, we ask that staff members refrain from drafting them during this period of mourning. Okay, so when it hits June 15th, 1983... Oh wait, it's 1993. This is already 10 years old. What am I doing? Okay, so the only way to go is up. This would be a good time to start using stuff that I can use later. This is the room that I was talking about, the breaker box. This actually has several functions, and also a hidden function once you know how to find the office. Okay, so both of these are dead ends. This one isn't. So let's spend a gem and use the patio. You want to get as far as you can north as you can. Now, these little dirt piles are actually useful once you have a shovel. Yep, occasionally you may discover small mounds of dirt in certain rooms of the estate. With the shovel, one may be able to excavate these suspicious dig spots. I don't have a shovel, so that's pretty much useless. Both of these are dead ends. The security room is very useful. You can view the inventory of all your items currently in the house and other functions as well. So let's get security. Oh, it also comes with its own cutscene. So that's Simon, huh? Doesn't really talk much, does he? It also makes you wonder, if there's security tapes here, what exactly are they recording? And why? This also gives you the impression there are a lot more rooms in this place than we originally theorized. There are way more room plans here than should be possible for a 45-room estate. Look how many cameras there are. There's even a vault, a showroom, a library, a music room, the archives, the ballroom. Is that a trophy room? Some rooms can only be unlocked once you actually complete the game. Once you've beaten the game, I mean. Which means that there's a lot more to this place than meets the eye. And weirdly enough, there's even a security camera for the security office. That way you can see someone coming behind you. Alright. Now what to do here. That's blocked off, so the only way forward is to the left. I should also mention there are also these notices on the wall, and there's also something important on the desk. It's really hard to see, but blue memos equal true, but the red memos equal lies, and just barely under here I can read, unless written by hand. And I also don't know what this part is. There is actually an item that allows you to see smaller print. If we had the magnifying glass, we'd be able to see what this is. Alright. So blue memos are true and red memos are false, unless they're written by hand. So if they're texted like this, it means that they're false. But if they're handwritten, it means that they're true, actually. And this would be a blue one. Keycard access security doors are more likely to appear in the higher ranks of the estate. Likewise, as redundant security measures, normal doors in the estate will also be more likely to be locked as you progress north. And since this one is already printed and on red, we can assume that all of this is false. So, if we read, until further notice the antechamber has been unlocked, which means it's actually locked, and access levers are no longer required, which means that they are, to grant entry. Effective the first week of December, the payroll for all live-out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically. As your attendance will no longer be registered at morning roll call, it is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals on the estate. 2 of these terminals can be found in the security, which is where we are, where the punch clock used to be, and in the laboratory. Any discussions or concerns regarding this process should be directed, as always, to our house manager, Mrs. Babbage. And of course, we can't see what the terminal password is to access all those features. Yet. Which one's the terminal? It's this one. There's a reason why they say to only play this with a keyboard. Welcome to Mount Holly Security. Press enter. Now, you could view the estate inventory, the keycard system, and the login to the network, which is probably what that security password is for. Let's look at the keycard system. The security doors are doors within the estate that can only be unlocked with an electronic keycard, which means that it's currently operational. Let's see. Now, since we already have a key card, we could increase the number of security to decrease the number of times we have to use items to make new rooms. Or we could lower the security in case we find some way to turn them off. Okay, so let's change this to unlocked. Basically, if the power is lost to the electronic doors, this offline mode means that there's a different way that it would respond depending on if the power was on or off. If it's off and they're unlocked, it means that it's just a free door. Let's confirm. Let's leave it on medium for now. Yeah, let's just leave it on medium for now and leave them unlocked. Back to the security menu. So there's one trunk, obviously, but I don't have a key for it. Alright, this is all I can really do for now on this run. Now, let's continue forward. Let's see what we can do. And it's locked. Of course it's locked. I don't have any keys. So, either this is completely useless, or I guess I have to call it a day now. That kinda sucks. It's pretty much useless. Oh well. Sometimes you run into dead ends when you run out of keys or gems or coins or steps. But not all is lost. It just means you advance it one day and then restart. So let's call it a day. Even though I have 30 steps, I don't want to waste them. Let's see what we got. Call it. Now, day 1, the number of rooms I got was 18. I reached rank 4, taken 32 steps, and found 3 items. It's a cozy cottage. Now, in terms of progress, let's save and continue and get into day 2. This is where things get tricky. Now, day 2 starts exactly the same way. 50 steps, start in the main chamber, everything's been reset. However, there are certain changes that can stay permanent depending on what kind of room triggered them. You all know the drill. Let's start left, up, or right. Let's go right this time. Now we have a dead-end lavatory, the guest bedroom, or a parlor. I think actually a guest bedroom would be good very early on. Ooh, what's this? It's a compass. With this, you draw floor plans leading north more frequently, which will probably help us to advance to higher ranks faster. Sorry, hand cramping up. Alright. Now let's go to the left. Let's try something new. Spare room? Or I could try the store. Let's do the storeroom. We need more items. With this, you get 1 coin, 1 gem, and 1 key. Nicely done. Now, there are also other items in this room that are kind of important. For example, there's a pawn here. That'll probably come up later. Every room has at least 1 chess piece in them. How is that important? That will come up later. What's this? Oh, it's a blue bird. Cute. Now, the only other way to go is forward. Let's hopefully we get something with branching paths. Now we have the corridor, which I think I might want to save this one for later because it's always unlocked. Maybe save that one for later levels? Let's see. Let's use the bedroom. What's this? Set of car keys. That might help for when we get to the garage. If we ever get the garage. No. Oof. These suck. Actually, this doesn't, because it has 2 different branching paths. Let's use the den, and it's free. Oh, I forgot to mention, sometimes the orientation of the rooms can change too. Let's keep going left. Wow, the security room's already there. The West Wing Hall, since it's free. Let's see what happens when we go down. Any new rooms? Nope. Didn't think so. This is a tough one. I should probably have more coins, actually. That might come in handy. Oh, banana! 4 more coins. You know the drill. That one's blocked off. Let's head... I could go up here, or I could go up here. I think I'll go up here. See what happens. The nook, the corridor, or the closet. Let's go for the nook, maybe? Alright. Since there's a nook in here, I get a free key. And there's a rook in here. A rook in the nook. A journey that's noteworthy. As you continue on your adventure, you may want to consider getting something to scribble on your notes. Scribble down your notes and observations. A pad, scrap of paper, or perhaps most fittingly, a journal will prove to be an invaluable tool you will not regret having beside you on this journey. Why is beside lowercase? Should I be writing that down? I feel like I should be writing that down somewhere. One second, guys. This feels important. I also saw the bridge in Bridgeette was lowercase as well. Why? So, okay, the words were bridge, beside. I'll try to keep on the lookout for more words that are lowercase when everything else is capitalized. Bridge and beside. Okay, that might be another puzzle I missed too. Let's continue. Let's use the parlor. Let's see what puzzle they got for me this time. Sorry. Another wind-up key. Let's see what the puzzle says this time. This box is black. The gems are in a true box. This box is blue. Okay, so same idea. It might be 2 truths and a false statement. So this one seems insultingly easy. If this is true, and this is also true, then this one is false. Which means the gems are actually in a false box. Which means the gems are in the white box. Bingo. 2 more gems. Now let's continue on. Let's go up. Oh, there's the commissary. The commissary. What's more worth it? Security. Let's spend a gem for a security. And also, did I forget to mention that you need to reset the thing every time you start a new day? Change the offline mode back to unlocked. Since I'm here alone. And I also don't have a key card. If I could find the breaker box room again, that would be most useful. Yeah, let's leave it on medium. So this entire place is closed off right now. Unless I find some way to loop back around over here. That'd be kind of nuts. Okay. Let's try over here. Hopefully I get the garage this time. No. You may draw new floor plans while drafting in this room, or launder your currency. Let's try the drawing room, actually. There's something cool in here that I want to show you guys, and it's not this. Drawing floor plans. Each time you click on a door, you will draw 3 floor plans from which you must select one to draft. So once you click a door, you have to give into it. There's no backing out. However, there are some items and rooms that will allow you to redraw if you do not like your initial 3 options. That is very true. Now, okay. The cool thing that I wanted to show you guys is actually something about the room itself. You'll notice that this looks like a completely normal room, right? Now, take a look at the sketch over here. Is there something wrong with this sketch? I'll give you 3 seconds to figure it out. 3, 2, 1. Correct answer? Look at the candelabras in the background. Notice anything weird? Why is this one crooked? Shouldn't this one be crooked too? And voila! Shows a wall safe. But we don't know what the code is. Nobody knows we don't know what the code is yet. But if we look through other rooms, we may be able to figure out some clue to figure out what it is. Alright, let's move on. Let's continue. Now, when you get to the 5th rank, most doors will require a key. So let's use a key. Now, let's see. Always unlocked. Breaker box. Always unlocked. Very nice. Now, since this one's always unlocked, we won't need a key. Oh no, they're all red. This one's especially bad, but also necessary. A dark room. You cannot see floor plans while drafting in this room. Now, let's try to draft the dark room first. Go into it. You'll notice that the lights flicker and turn off. That's what they mean by you can't see the floor plans, because you can't see anything. Let's go back. Let's see if we can draw the breaker box again if we go through this door. Aha! Here we go. Breaker box. Nicely done. 2 more photos. Now, what's special about this, you can turn off the security system. So, I already set it to unlocked if the thing is off. Toggling of breaker switches may result in unexpected loss or floor plan functionality. Please call DC Power if you require assistance. So, if this ever comes up again, let's turn off and turns off its functionality. Turn on the dark room to turn the lights on, and turn on the garage to make that functional. We can't use the cabinet. For now, that should be good. There's also a hidden functionality with this later on, which will only happen if you get to the office. For now, let's head back up to the dark room, which should be on now, and we can see. You'll also notice that there's ductwork up here. That will come in handy later if we ever find the generator room. Alright. Print notes. HS has requested yet another print of her ladyship, I assume for one of her rooms in the West Wing, as well as an enlarged print of the enclosed photograph. He said the last development was too dark to keep an eye on that. Why does this seem familiar, and why does it look like there's numbers written here? Because that was the stump that I saw next to the orchard. That must be Miss Sinclair. Is there anything? Oh, lockpicks! These are useful. A hobbyist lockpick kit will occasionally be able to unlock some normal doors. So sometimes you'll be able to pick the lock and not even have to use a key. This must be the office. There's a king, or is that a queen? I think that's actually a king. What did that say? I can't see that. Nobody can see that. Not unless I find the magnifying glass, which I'm sure I'll be able to find, but just takes a little time. Let's try using the lockpick. I can't pick the lock. Let's try the spare room. No, let's try the courtyard. There might be something useful in the courtyard. Oh, is that a sledgehammer? It's a sledgehammer. Can be used to shatter the locks on padlocks. Ooh, okay. Let's see what we got here. 2 items. Please be a key. Please be a key. It's a key! And a lucky rabbit's foot. Oh, if only I had a shovel. Wait, do I? No, I have a sledgehammer. Doesn't really help me right now. Let's use the lockpick again. Yes! Now, let's see here. Let's use the spare room and keep going north. Yes, okay. Can't get through. Use a key. I'm already at rank 8. So let's... the dining room. And Boom, just like that. See? I'm so close to the antechamber, but it isn't open yet, which is a problem. Let's see what we got here. A porterhouse steak. A delightfully expensive steak cut, bone-in, and extra marble for maximum tenderness. A perfect dish for those who love extravagance. If I eat this now, I get plus 20 steps, but if I at the showroom in my house, I get an additional 10. I need more steps right now, so let's have dinner. Nice, it's a T-bone. Alright. Now, let's try going this way. The rumpus room? This might come in handy. Alright, should have 8 coins in here, actually. Booyah, I'm rich. There's a bishop. Maybe I should use a coin on him? Let's see what this does. Prepare for weirdness.
And, as it was foretold,
What the what?
I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin. You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future. The image is becoming clear. I see a boy standing on a shore of white sand. He is looking for something he was told he would not find. I see a black cat tied to a red flag. I hear the wind blowing, but the flag does not stir. I see a door marked by a rogue moon, a door that is always locked, yet has no key. It is the door you have been searching for, yet will not find. A lost room beyond the dark waters. What you have heard here has been foreseen by the great Alzara. Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say.
That was cryptic as hell. From what I got out of that, he's basically saying that my mission is to find a door with no key but is always locked. And from the looks of it, that crescent-shaped door might be in a place beyond water? He said a lost room beyond the dark waters. What does that mean, beyond the dark waters? Well, regardless, we should probably keep that information in mind. And a black cat attached to a flag? Ah. I can't pick this. That sucks. And yet another day, I couldn't get anywhere. I couldn't even get the garage yet. I guess I have to unlock that later. If only I had the commissary, I could buy something. But I guess I'm stuck for now. And I've already tried picking this lock too. That kind of sucks, but hey, I made it all the way to rank 8, so that's good. I guess I'll have to call it for the day. Alright. This also seems like it's a good place to leave off for now. Let's call it a day. That was a lot of progress that we got through. West-facing cottage. You have 20 rooms, reach rank 8. I took 31 steps, found 5 new items and 7 new rooms. Okay. So, from that, we will save and quit for now. Alright. Seems like it's a good first 2 days. I hope that you guys all enjoyed this as much as I did, because this is probably going to take a while to find room 46. Oh boy. But if you guys want to see me continue this game and continue potentially getting to room 46 again, since I've already done so before, remember to leave a comment in the comment section down below, like, share, and subscribe. The more subscribers I have in my channel, the bigger my channel can grow. And as always, I'm the VR Nomad. Peace out.